Hey, what is up to YouTube? It's your brown boy, Lay. Ain't no intros go, man. We don't do those today. I was just watching this video versus LeBron and Jordan, man, and I just got to make a video about this. I don't know if I'm going to post this or not. I don't think we can compare these two players. The demand for jump shooting is needed more than Jordan was. Like in Jordan's era, you didn't have to shoot a jumper. Jumpers weren't like that. Jumpers weren't this, jumpers weren't that. But Michael was still the best in his time. The thing about it is LeBron is a great player now because he was able to have like an all-around game rather than Jordan, who just had to. Jordan's game was based on, like mid-ranges, slashing. Michael Jordan was also a great passer. But y'all gonna hear this from me now. There will be a better player than LeBron James because the game will change. The game will change. The game will nothing will stay the same. So eventually we're going to be like this one random guy who's going to, he's better than LeBron James. But in reality, we cannot compare the two because the game demands differently as time goes on. For instance, like I said, Michael Jordan, he was at first he was a slasher, and then he had to get a nice little jump shot because the game was changing. He had to be the best, so he had to get a little jump shot on him. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. To be honest, it doesn't matter who's the best because in reality, being the best is meaningless because over time you won't be the best. You know what I mean? Like, so if I had to say who's better, LeBron or Michael, like I used to be like, oh, Michael Jordan. But when I look at it, LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan, in the era Michael Jordan was in, it wasn't. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. It wasn't. I don't know how to explain this right now. It's killing me right now. It wasn't the things LeBron can do. It wasn't needed, it wasn't even a thought when Michael Jordan played. Like Michael Jordan was the best player. Michael Jordan was the best it could get until time passed, and now we have LeBron, a freakishly athletic 6'8", 250, 260-pound monster. Like LeBron wasn't around when Michael Jordan was playing. You know what I mean? There was no LeBron. Like, there was no 6'8", freaking, who could do it all demigod. You know what I mean? There was Michael Jordan, who could do it all. 6'6", and not freakishly crazy in weight, but, just a really a great player. And we're just going to watch this video because this is killing me because I can't. We are comparing them based on a record. And we can't do that. We can't compare them. We can't compare them on points because Jordan did so much for the game other than scoring. We can't compare his assists because LeBron is a new Jordan. He's improving the game. Like, these guys are improving the game. LeBron James is, passing, he's rebounding, he's setting up points. Now he's setting the standard for the next great player. Michael Jordan just set the standard for a great player who can get to the basket, who can score anywhere. Like, he set the bar for LeBron James. These players are just setting the bar for each other. They're both great players. They're just setting the bar for each other.
You can't take them off his
We're just gonna watch this video for a little bit, see what they gotta say.
Driven me the craziest about LeBron James is many people, including you, elevate him into at least.
I really wish I could explain what I'm talking about right now.
Yet he remains, going into his 14th year, by his standards, a lousy outside shooter and an even worse free throw shooter. And I don't get it.
Sure. But in his career, Jordan shot around 85%, LeBron in his career around 75%. That's a big difference. Yeah. I get it. The 10% is a big difference. The point for me on LeBron is I don't know if LeBron's going to finish as the best ever in any individual thing. By that I mean this. I don't think he's going to be the best passer ever, but I think he's the second best passer ever. I think to Magic.
LeBron is in that category. He has the passing gift. Michael was a good passer. Now, don't misunderstand that. Very good. LeBron has that gift. So if we're talking about the ability to win basketball games as the driving force of a team, at least the conversation has started. Would I still take Michael any day of the week and twice on Sunday? Yes, I would.
I don't know if he's going to be the best scorer ever.
He's better than Michael.
No.
Go ahead and go there.
I think that's probably Kareem.
LeBron James made 2 huge mistakes coming out of high
The
school.
thing is, we're so tied up in comparing the two when we should just embrace the two. LeBron is a great player. Michael Jordan is a great player. But they played in 2 different eras which demanded 2 different things. Like when Jordan played, it was a much physical game. So, and then LeBron's body is built for a physical game. But it's not really that much physical as today as it was with Jordan. But LeBron poses a skill. And that's what I'm like. In a skill set, as an all-around player, forget the record, forget everything. LeBron is a better player. In my opinion, LeBron is a better player. And don't get me wrong, I like clutch players. I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. I got the mentality, blah 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 blah. But we're talking about as a player, LeBron James is the better player. Jordan had a mindset that was outside of his era. Jordan had a killer mindset that can't be taught. You have to have it. And you guys have to understand that we are people, don't possess the same thing. So although LeBron might be better than Jordan, they're different people. They have different personality. Jordan was a killer. I'm not saying LeBron isn't a killer, but Jordan was a killer. He would try to kill. He would crush your soul, and he was great. But LeBron is just great. And although he doesn't get it done in the clutch time, there has been some times. I used to be the biggest LeBron hater back when I didn't understand the game. But now you have to understand. Both of them were great players. They were so good in their respective eras. Now if we put LeBron in Jordan's era, based on based on his body, what he could do, LeBron would be better than Jordan, but LeBron wasn't around. Basically, what I'm trying to get is, time changes the player. Basically, LeBron is just an improvement of Jordan. And LeBron, eventually, there will be an improvement of LeBron. The standard will be set higher than LeBron. We'll be looking back at, is he better than LeBron? Is he better than LeBron? This, when in reality, we're only getting better. We're only improving. You know what I mean? We're not, we're not digressing. We're just getting better and better. So when people say LeBron versus Jordan, it's ridiculous. When we should be how has Jordan impacted the game today? And the answer is LeBron. And then eventually, it'll be somebody else. And eventually, it'll be somebody else. That's how it goes. The start of the league, in the 60s or the 70s, we were talking about Bill Russell and Kareem. There was no Jordan. There was no LeBron. What? And these guys just came in the league and just had a skill set that was unmatched. So that's why I don't really get the LeBron and Jordan debates anymore. I mean, they're cool to talk about to people who don't understand the concept of time. And how time only allows individuals to adapt and become better. And I've been rambling for too much. I just feel like I had to say what I had to say because a lot of people don't get it. LeBron versus Jordan is not a debate. It's not. You can't compare them. You can't compare. You can have favorite players. You know what I mean? You could be like, LeBron's stat line versus this versus that but in reality, they're just improvements to one another. You know what I mean? I like Kobe, and I used to be like, Kobe's way better than LeBron, simply because of his mental tenacity, his ability to just kill you in the fourth quarter. But not everybody has that. Not everyone has the Michael Jordan skill set. Not everyone has a LeBron James skill set. Eventually, we can be talking about Ben Simmons. Like, you know what I mean? Like, eventually, we can be like, oh, is Ben Simmons better than LeBron? Like, there's no... So you can't compare the two. Is basically what I'm getting. You cannot compare them. Because, man, it wasn't such a different time. The 80s and 90s, there was no, like there was no Currys and Jordans there. Like, there were, like, people who were kind of, like, okay, like, Steph Curry was, like, Del Curry in Jordan's era. Like, that was Jordan, Steph Curry, Del Curry. You know, like, Reggie Miller. You know what I mean? There was those great shooters. But now, as the game has improved and evolved, that now we have Steph Curry, now we have Klay Thompson. Now the game is just all about shots. And Jordan's era, it wasn't about shots. It wasn't about who could make the most jump shots. It was a physical game. It was like who can ground and pound, who can hit mid ranges, who can lay the ball up. I mean, threes were cool. If you could shoot the three, you were needed because 3-pointers weren't a given. But it wasn't about, like, Steve Kerr. Like, he was a great 3-point shooter. I think he would have did better now than if he, actually, no, I don't think so, because Kerr would have got eaten up. I don't think Kerr would have been able to. Kerr was a good shooter, though. Kerr was a really good shooter. But that's a different debate. There is no debate, actually. There is no debate. LeBron versus Jordan. I got LeBron and Jordan. Because Jordan paved the way for LeBron. And LeBron's going to pave the way for somebody else. And then somebody else going to pave the way for somebody else. And then it's going to continue. So these debates are cool. But if you really think about it, you cannot compare these guys. They were born in 2 different times, 2 different influences, everything. Life was different for the both of them. That's what I'm saying. I think if LeBron was born in Jordan's era, first of all, I wouldn't even think he would have gotten that big. Like, dude is huge. Like, but I don't like. We don't know because we're given what we're given. We don't know if LeBron was in Jordan's era, LeBron would be taking over. We don't know that. Like, we don't know. Like, because we're here. We don't, like, what if Jordan he got cut from his basketball team, he didn't want to play basketball no more. Then we would have no Jordan. Then how would he influence LeBron? Because LeBron said he watched Jordan. We wouldn't have, we wouldn't have LeBron. So we have to understand, like, what I'm learning to understand as time goes on. I'm just embracing the players. I'm just admiring the players. Because they're feeding off one another. Greatness feeds off greatness. So we might have, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this is just a crazy topic. We're going to watch the video a little bit more, then we're going to stop it because I feel like I've been talking too long.
And often used it to refer to himself, which was way over
Shout out to Wendy's.
at that point at age 18. LeBron James at 18.
Let me know what y'all think so far, man.
23. He adopted or stole Michael Jordan's powder toss routine before games. He basically told the world, I am here, I am the next Michael Jordan. You know it and I know it. And it took him 8 long years to realize, I'm not Michael Jordan, and I think on the decision night, he's
not Michael Jordan, he's LeBron James.
I'm not. I've got to go down and join forces with D.
We have to have a sense of independence.
He opted to wear number 6 in Miami because he wanted a fresh start and to get out from under the cloud that covered him on his own doing of Michael Jordan's 23.
But the aliens come down. You have one game to save.
I don't like this guy simply because he's biased towards LeBron James. Nick, right?
LeBron James right now.
I want the real 23. I want MJ because.
And this guy just biased towards Michael Jordan because that's all he grew up watching. Michael Jordan. Of course, when you grow up watching somebody, you're not gonna go against them like towards a new guy, especially if you're born like off tops. I'm thinking Skip is born in the 50s, 60s. I don't know when the guy was born, but during that time, people like things in its purest form. So when Michael Jordan, like, you know how many people loved Michael Jordan if they were born like the 60s, blah, blah, blah. They love Bird. Like they love the old-fashioned game. You can't make it, like, Like, these guys are like old heads. You can't make an old head really like new stuff because he's so used to the old head stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. And I'm not mad at them, but you guys have to understand that. So, of course, Nick Wright is going to love LeBron. Skip Bayless is going to say he likes Michael Jordan better because that's what he grew up watching. Dexter, I grew up watching Dexter's Laboratory. Like, I'm not going to freaking say Ricky and Morty's better than Dexter's Laboratory because I grew up watching. Like, that's a throwback. That's the best. Like, that's a show that I love. Ed, Edd n Eddy. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, these new shows better than Ed, Edd n Eddy. But these new kids think these shows are better than Ed, Edd n Eddy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Thanks for letting the song play and catching. Appreciate you, man. LOG.
I think I've watched every playoff game Jordan's ever played.
Okay. I ask you, did Michael Jordan ever disappear in any round of the playoffs, even when he was trying to fight through the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons and Larry Bird's Boston Celtics? Did he ever just disappear? Did anybody ever say, boy, Michael Jordan had a bad series against the Celtics? Nobody ever said that. That happened to LeBron James, who went up 2-1 with a monster game at Boston Garden on a Friday night that I closely watched, and then 4, 5, and 6.
3 NBA titles, 4 title MVPs, MJ.
Disengaged, disappeared. I don't know what happened. I talked too long, Joy.
LeBron working on
apologize for that to the point that I just made myself feel sorry.
You can't compare records. You can't compare MVPs. You can't compare. Can't do that.
I could just throw numbers.
Voting was different biases.
Weak, meager argument you're going to throw back at me.
And I'm going to tell the audience a secret, then I'm going to shut up about this.
Okay.
You mentioned Shaq being in the league. I know that the tapes have been burned, and I know that I'm not allowed to bring this up. Shaq and the Magic beat Michael Jordan in a playoff series.
Yeah, when he came back, tired for 2 years, he tried to play
Magic beat
baseball.
MJ, okay.
Forced me to
Curry beat
revisit
LeBron.
2010, last series in Cleveland against Boston, in 2011.
Team game, not an individual
NBA
game.
Finals as a Miami Heat. I would ask you, after games 1 and 2, it went back to Miami, and I want you to go tell me what happened in games 3 and 4 in Miami. This was 2-2, 1-1-1, I believe. So the next 2 games in Miami, what happened?
LeBron melted down.
Then LeBron in 2014, after the greatest clutch shot I've ever seen in the history of the world by Ray Allen that saved LeBron's legacy in 2013, in 2014, my San Antonio Spurs blew LeBron James' Heat off the floor by a record finals margin.
Great
This
coach.
is an interesting thought exercise.
Balanced
You're
team
driving around in your car listening right
versus
now.
talent.
If LeBron were 3-0 in the finals
Okay.
and said, I want to be Michael, you probably would say, okay, yeah, okay. I am more willing to entertain that idea if he were 3-0, which just means we're penalizing him for advancing in the playoffs.
It's not realistic. Again, it's the
That's why you can't compare it. LeBron James went to the finals in 07, I believe, against the Spurs with a weak team and got swept. 0-1. Like, Michael Jordan went 6-0 with a good team that was built around him. But this is why we can't compare the two, because when Michael first got in the league, he was getting beat in the playoffs before he even hit the finals. He was getting beat. Like, you can't compare these two. Like, that's why I'm just like, what? Why can't we just embrace them both? Why can't it be like they're both great?
If the year he lost to the Spurs in 07,
Not saying they're the same.
Pistons had knocked him out. If the year they lost to the Mavericks, if the Celtics had knocked him out, if the year they lost to the Spurs, if they had been knocked out in the Eastern Conference semifinals or Eastern Conference finals, and he were 3-0, then people would say, okay, yeah, then maybe you can be Michael. The idea that he's penalized for making the finals a bunch of times is absurd.
Lived to tell and got into a lot of finals because they're coming through the easier path, which is in the East.
Listen, a win for you is LeBron gonna pass Jordan because he already did for me.
That's just offensive to me. How can you?
Congrats.
Don't ever make that case again. You're out.
Can LeBron ever pass Jordan? Of course he can. To me, the question is will and when.
Okay.
And the answer is in about 4 months when this Cavs team wins another title.
That quickly?
That'll be the resume that you can stack up next to Michael's to be the greatest basketball player ever.
Respecting the real.
Old heads will love Michael Jordan
You feel a
because
lot
Michael
less
Jordan was a
pressure this
game
final
changer.
run just because you are undermanned
He was amazing to watch. And I wasn't even during that time, and I can tell you that.
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world.
Michael Jordan did. See, that's confidence. See, we watching LeBron now, like, okay.
You think there's someone else? Prove.
Look at it. Look, okay. 6 titles, 3 titles, 5 MVPs, 4, blah, 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 blah. LeBron has to carry a heavier load because his team isn't up to par like Jordan's team was. Don't get me wrong. I believe Jordan had a better team than LeBron James most years because now he got love, blah, 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 blah. But that's just adapting to the game. But let's say, like, if Jordan had to be on the Cavs, we wouldn't know how he would, if LeBron had to be on the 90s Bulls, we wouldn't know how that would happen because they played 2 different games. The game demanded 2 different things. LeBron probably wouldn't even be LeBron if he was in the 90s. Like, he probably wouldn't even... Like, come on. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me slowly.
According to, PER, Stephen A., his prime is below Michael Jordan's. Just is. But if you're close and you have a longer career...
Surpassing his airness. How about we use upgrading? LeBron James is an upgrade from Michael Jordan. LeBron James is an upgrade because they were both great players. They were both great players in their respective eras. Kareem was a great player. A 7-foot god. Bill Russell, Wilt were great players. Although they had a competitive nature in trying to see who's better, who this. But when you look back at it over time, we realize this is nonsense because the game's changed. The game will never be the same. Eventually, the NBA is going to put a 4-point line, and the old head's going to be like, oh, the game is trash. But the new guys might be like, oh, I like the game. I want to shoot 4-pointers. I want to shoot from half court. I want to, you know what I mean? We can't do this, y'all. And I was just giving my thoughts, just ranting on it, just giving my opinion. Because, man, I'm tired of this. I really am. Who's the better player? We'll never know. Because, one, they didn't even play against each other. They didn't even know each other. When Jordan played, he didn't know LeBron. Well, he probably did when he was a little older. Like, a little bit older. But LeBron always knew Jordan. He looked at Jordan and was like, I want to be Michael Jordan. There's going to be a kid who was like, I want to be LeBron James, and is going to be better than LeBron James. That's going to happen. That's not. I hope y'all get what I'm saying, man. I hope I'm not rambling on too much. This video is probably too long, man. But let me know what y'all think. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. I'm out, boy.